mouth is home to more than 5,000 species of bacteria. A clean mouth has between 1,000 to 1 lakh bacteria on each teeth. More than 600 strains of bacteria have been identified from dental plaque. That's each square centimeter of your skin have approximate 1 lakh bacteria. Cream lagado and alaga je lagado lagado. They are not going to leave you. Fine. Next. We wet handle spread 1,000 times more germ than a dry hand. Fine. It depends on water quality again. Fine. Next. Botox for girls. Many old age actress they take some injection and because nobody want to get older. Botox. Actors also, yeah. Use treat wrinkle and facial crease is nothing but it's a toxin which is produced by a deadly bacterium Clostridium botulinum. Next. Sometimes some dentists recommend that a toothbrush should be kept at least 2 meters away from toilet to avoid airborne particles resulting from the flush. આપણા તો 80% લોકોના બ્રશ ને પેસ્ટ ને બધું બાથરૂમમાં જ હોય. Fine. You can see that you require a big bathroom. Next. As per Dr. Winkle, an infectious disease expert, when we have a cold and cough, virus particle can travel at 220 km an hour. That is faster than a passenger jet at the time of takeoff. Next. The smell of rain. બધાને સુગંધ બહુ મજા આવે ને પહેલો વરસાદ આવે. It's a pleasant smell. The smell of rain is caused by a bacteria called actinomycetes. These organisms produce an organic compound which is known as geosmin with a distinct earthy flavor and aroma, and it is produced by a group of filamentous gram-positive bacteria called actinobacteria. And that bacteria very well you can grow in the lab and you can have that smell also. Next. Very serious bacterial infection can be treated with special drug that kill bacteria called antibiotics. The bacteria evolved into what is known as antibiotic resistant form, multiple resistant Staphylococcus aureus. This is the bacterium, a strain that has become extremely dangerous because it has evolved to survive almost all antibiotics. If you have this infection, forget about medicine. Next. The largest bacteria so far can actually be seen without your eyes. These are, you can see with naked eyes, otherwise you need microscope to observe. These are the bacterium Thiomargarita namibiensis. It is found in Namibia, it was found in Namibia. You can see without a microscope. Next. There can be as many as 1 lakh germs contained in one sneeze. Cheap ખાવ ને એટલે આટલા બહાર આવે મિત્રો. એટલે આજુબાજુમાં રેલવેમાં ટ્રેનના ડબ્બામાં થર્ડ ક્લાસમાં મુંબઈમાં કોઈ છીપ ખાય તો શું થાય? Average 95% Indians are they have germs of tuberculosis. They are not patients of TB, but they all have organisms, TB organisms present in the body. Next. Microbes comprise approximately 60% of Earth biomass. Next. Microbes are root of life family tree. An understanding of that genome help us to understand how more complex genome can be developed. Next. So, they were there. So we can say that organisms were here before we were and will probably be here after we are gone, and because they are just that tough, because that toughness makes this organism to survive in this environment. Now, next. Career in microbiology. You should concentrate on this area. Those who want to pursue career in the field of microbiology, you can see here. Next. There are various fields of microbiology. These are the past effects. These are the field on the basis of which microbiology was developed. That is agriculture, biochemistry, biotechnology, and so on. And these are the present field that you cannot study without this field, microbiology. So microbiology is associated with many fields. Next. Scope of microbiology. If you pursue BSc, if you want to pursue BSc, you can have BSc in these many subjects. You can have MSc in these many subjects. Right. You can have MSc in clinical microbiology, in molecular biology, genetic engineering, agriculture microbiology, medical microbiology, vaccine research, pharma research. These are the field for MSc microbiology after once you have BSc degree. Next. After BSc microbiology and biotechnology, some subjects which are out of the biological science, for example, research and development, finance and administration, any biopharma company, dealing with some export. So if your background is biological, you can deal very well with these companies. Business development, laboratory research career, administrative and supportive function career, medical and clinical setting career, engineering career, and quality assurance and quality control. Next. So, what are the latest industry trends in the field of microbiology? There are some frequently asked questions by the student that production of totally new eukaryotic compound like insulin, interferon, and other recombinant products using microorganisms in large quantity. Probiotic microbes being used in manufacturing of various food and pharmaceutical products which are produced by microbes. Biofuel like bioethanol and biodiesel are being manufactured using new raw material like lignocellulose, algae and other biomass material which can be used to replace the fossil fuel. And many new recombinant vaccines are produced by microorganisms. Initially they were given individual vaccines. Now at a time 5 vaccines you can give at a time. Next. What are the job Next. What are the job opportunities available for the student who pursue microbiology? These are the fields in which you can have job opportunity. Microbiology is offered at 3 levels, no? UG, post-graduation and research, PhD. Student pursuing undergraduate in microbiology can work at science laboratories and pathological laboratories. Microbiology graduate can pursue post-graduation after BSc. After post-graduation, once they complete, they can work in the microbiology-based industries like pharmaceutical, dairy industry, brewing industry, distillery, enzyme industry, and alternatively they can also go for further study, that is PhD. Next. After this PhD, once they have a few years experience, one can start pathological laboratory. Student who complete PhD can take up teaching at the university and post-graduation level they can be an assistant professor. Right? પહેલા શરૂઆતમાં એવું કહેવામાં આવતું કે જ્યાં સરસ્વતી હોય ને ત્યાં લક્ષ્મી ન આવે અને લક્ષ્મી હોય ત્યાં સરસ્વતી ન હોય. 5-6 પગાર પંચ આવ્યો ને ગવર્નમેન્ટનો ત્યાંથી લક્ષ્મી અને સરસ્વતી બંને થઈ ગયા ભેગા. આસિસ્ટન્ટ પ્રોફેસર ગવર્નમેન્ટ જાવ તો પેલો ઇનિશિયલ પગાર કેટલો હોય ખબર? 50,000 રૂપિયા પર મંથ. Fine, 50,000, and you can reach to, after I think it seems that out 10 plan, there will be 3.5 lakhs pay of a professor every month. So this is a very bright career. They can also take up a postdoctoral research with good fellowship and contingency grant offered by funding agency like UGC, CSIR, Indian Council of Medical Research, DST, Inspire and DBT. તમારે લોકોએ કોઈને PhD કરવું હોય, PhD after PhD તમારે પોસ્ટડોક કરવું હોય તો ઇન્ડિયામાં પણ પોસ્ટડોક થઈ શકે. There is a scheme of Inspire. મંથલી પે કેટલો મળે ખ્યાલ છે તમને? 80,000 રૂપિયા. 80,000 રૂપિયા. આ મુખોપાધ્યાય દાદા આવ્યા હતા ને ઇનોગ્યુરેશનમાં. He is the main funding authority. And Saurashtra University have 3 this type of students. They are getting 80,000 per month. Every year 3% rise. So after 5 years it reaches to 95,000 per month. And every year 7 lakh rupee fund for research. So you can imagine. Next. What should students keep in mind when they pursue microbiology. To make a career in microbiology, candidate must be very strong in both basic and applied aspects of microbiology, including special skill in laboratory techniques. For example, if their focus is on the fermentation industry, say for example, a strong background in the industrial microbiology or fermentation technology is must. When you are studying several papers at undergraduate level, if you focus, suppose you are interested in fermentation industry, there is a full paper, industrial microbiology. If you focus that, you can have job very easily. Next. So, first, next. What are the scope in India and abroad? This is very important for students. In India, microbiology is offered by several universities without any specialization. At BSc level, you can pursue microbiology in several universities and colleges. This equips students to choose from a variety of specialization, and a number of micro specialization, even in microbiology, can have various demand, and freshers have good package also. Next, if you see there were local Indian scenario, and these are opportunity abroad. Abroad you can work in these many fields, in bacteriology, virology, immunology, applied microbiology, microbial technology. These are the fields that where you can pursue your postdoctoral, and these are certain emerging fields: bioinformatics, metagenomics, and nanobiotechnology. Next, what remuneration can fresher expect? Ultimately, focus to आज होए, बराबर ने? कितना मर्से? Fine, because you are selecting engineer, doctors. After all, ultimately goal is, but being whether you are BSc microbiology, this is applicable to all. If you are BSc microbiologist, biotechnologist, biologist or chemist, these are the current rate that an undergraduate fresh can expect around 10,000 to 15,000 per month. BSc થઈ ગયા એટલે આટલામાંથી તો ક્યાંય જવાના નથી. Fine, engineer, I don't know. Postgraduate and doctoral, after post-graduation and doctoral, you can have 20,000 to 30,000, sorry. And after PhD, you may get few thousand to few lakhs in industry. It depends what is your interest and what is your expertise. Next. So, this is median's average salary. Are the USD, those who are in the field of biological science. These are data in 2012. Because in foreign, મંદી આવતી જતી હોય એટલે સેલરી વધી ઓછી થાય, પણ if you multiply with 70, આ એન્યુઅલ છે, $1,20,000 multiply by 70, 70 રૂપિયાથી એને ગુણાકાર કરો અને જે આવે ફિગર આટલી એટલીસ્ટ આ ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી છે અબ્રોડ. ફાઇન, નેક્સ્ટ. Now see, I'll tell you my experience. What is this figure? It shows the increase in the participation in some international conferences. કોઈ પણ એક કોન્ફરન્સ થતી હોય એમાં નંબર ઓફ પાર્ટિસિપન્ટ ઇન્ક્રીઝ થાય. What does it mean? Your field is spreading, isn't it? This is first FEMS. FEMS stands for Federation of European Microbiological Society. આખા યુરોપમાં more than 46 માઇક્રોબાયોલોજીની સોસાયટી છે. હવે ઈ બધી સોસાયટી એક કોન્ફરન્સ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝ કરે અને ઓવરઓલ વર્લ્ડમાંથી ત્યાં લોકો આવે. I participated in FEMS 2011, which was organized at Geneva, Switzerland. And see, in third, these many participants were there. In FEMS conference, there were more than 3,500 participants. 2000, that was fourth FEMS. Fifth FEMS also has been already organized. And now it is time for sixth FEMS. So, indirectly, it gives statistic that the field is spreading like anything. Next. So, next, go. Fine. So, next. Now, before I'll show you one animation, I would like to give few facts about gene to genome. You must be knowing about bacterial cell, ultrastructure of cell, prokaryote and eukaryote. Eukaryote cell have nucleus. Prokaryote cell don't have organized nucleus. Fine. Next. So, certain fascinating fact of DNA. DNA code for your genetic makeup. Are you agree with this? Next. Even though it codes for all the information that make up an organism, DNA is built using only 4 building blocks, that is nucleotides, adenine, guanine, thymine and cytosine. Remember this because you are supposed to correlate in the animation, right? Every human being shares approximately 99% of the DNA with every other human. My DNA with DNA of Paresh Joshi, 99% is matching. Only 1% is different. And that makes આપણી બધાની finger tips છે પહેલા આપણે શું કરતા? I think you must be knowing about DNA fingerprinting. It was first introduced after assassination of Rajiv Gandhi. રાજીવ ગાંધીનું assassination થયું ઓલા બેને માળા પહેરાવી હતી ખબર છે ને? અને માળાથી અહીંથી પછી આખું માથું અલગ ગોતવું હતું. There were many people, there were many head and many body. So based on that DNA fingerprinting, and that was first realized in CCMB, Hyderabad. So this one person makes that particular difference. Next, DNA is found inside every cell in our body, apart from red blood cell. Red blood cell માં DNA હોય નહીં. Human have approximately 100 trillion cell. Each cell contains roughly 2 meter of DNA. દરેક સેલમાં 2 મીટર DNA હોય. આટલાને 2 મીટરે તમે મલ્ટીપ્લાય કરો. If you put all the DNA molecule in your body and end to the end, the DNA would reach from Earth to Sun and back over 600 times. 100 trillion times 6 feet divided by this. So 600 times તમે સૂર્ય અને પૃથ્વીથી અપ ડાઉન કરી શકો. એટલું લાંબુ તમારું DNA હોય. The Sun is approximately 98 million miles away from the Earth. You can imagine what is the length of DNA. Next, there are approximately 3 billion chemical letters, that is known as base, in the DNA code in every cell in your body. It would fill 200 yellow page in small type font. નાના ટાઈપ થી કરો તો આટલા 200 yellow page ટાઈપ કરો ને એટલા લેટર આપડા એક સેલ ના DNA માં હોય. Next, a parent and child share 99.5% of the same DNA. એટલે બેન ભાઈ હોય તો એમાં કેટલો ડિફરન્સ હોય? 0.5. Fine. Next, you have 98% of your DNA in common with chimpanzee. Fine. Next, if you could type 60 words per minute, remember this is interesting. If you could type 60 words per minute, 8 hours a day, it would take approximately 50 years to type the human genome. ટાઈપ કર્યા જ કરો 50 વર્ષ સુધી ત્યારે માંડ તમારું હ્યુમન જીનોમ જે પ્રોજેક્ટ કમ્પ્લીટ થયો ને 2002-2003 માં it takes 50 years to type. Next, DNA is a fragile molecule. About 1,000 times a day sometimes happens to it to cause the error. Now DNA is supposed to undergo various errors. Fine. Next, scientists at Cambridge University believe humans have DNA in common with the mudworm. This is interesting. And that is the closest invertebrate genetic related to us. Chimpanzee કરતા પણ જે આ જે mudworms છે એની સાથે આપણું genetic વધારે match થાય છે. In other words, you have more in common genetically speaking with a mudworm than you do with a spider or octopus or a cockroach. Next, humans and cabbage share approximately 4 to 50% of the common DNA. वो बीज આપણે ખાઈ છીએ ને એનું આપણું DNA 40 to 50% match થતું હોય. Next, in 1969 the scientists understood DNA was the genetic material is said until 1943. There are various experiments DNA which was proved that DNA is the genetic material. Prior to that, it was widely believed that protein stored genetic information. There was a debate. Some were telling that carbohydrate is genetic material. Some were telling lipid is genetic material. Protein is genetic material. But later on, based on several experiments, it was proved that DNA is the genetic material. Next. So, this figure you all aware with. From cell to, this is nucleus. Now, from outside, we are going inside the nucleus. Next. So, it is the central dogma of life. From ant to elephant, from ant to dinosaur. This process is common. When DNA is synthesized from DNA, that process is known as replication. When RNA is synthesized from DNA, it is known as transcription. And when protein is synthesized from messenger RNA, it is known as translation. So replication, transcription and translation, these are the basic fact of life. Fine. And it takes place in each and every cell. Then cell divide. Next. Next. So this is the complex where DNA is getting replicated. Now I'm going to show you one animation. See, when this DNA undergo replication, there are hundreds of enzymes are participating. I told you three processes. ત્રણ process મેં કીધી, DNA replication, transcription and translation. આ દરેક જગ્યા જુદી સેલની અંદર જુદી જુદી જગ્યાએ થાય. First of all, you should have a clear idea કે ભાઈ prokaryotic સેલમાં ન્યુક્લિયસ ન હોય. Fine. અને eukaryotic સેલમાં ન્યુક્લિયસ હોય. You imagine watermelon હોય, એ watermelon say for example it is made up of glass. એક તરબૂચ તમારી પાસે છે, એ ગ્લાસનું બનેલું છે ને એની અંદર પાણી ભરેલું છે. એની અંદર એક તમે સંતરું નાખ્યું, બરાબર? એ સંતરું અંદર તરે છે, મોસંબી. ઇટ ઇઝ યોર ન્યુક્લિયસ. હવે ઘણીવાર નાના બાળકો સંતરાની છાલ નાખીને આમ આંખમાં છાંટતા હોય, ખબર? ફાઇન. ધીઝ આર ન્યુક્લિયર પોર. યુ ઇમેજ ધીઝ આર ન્યુક્લિયર પોર. ન્યુક્લિયસ હોય, એના પોર હોય. તો તમારું ન્યુક્લિયસ ક્યાં હોય? એની અંદર હોય. ત્યાંથી ન્યુક્લિયસ બહાર આવશે, the DNA બહાર આવશે. Fine. So how this entire process happens? How transcription take place, translation take place, and how replication take place, transcription and translation, that we'll see in one animation. Next.